Hi, my name is Olsson-Campbell, and I'm going to do a Qigong class for us today based on the silk brocade, it's called. So we'll begin with some warm-ups to get our energy flowing, and then we'll move into sort of traditional sequence, and then we'll do a bit of closing. So Qigong translates into energy work, and this is sort of a Chinese practice that's been done for thousands of years to help to maintain our health and well-being. So we're going to begin with Qigong stance. So our feet are going to be hip width, our knees just slightly unlocked, so they're soft. Our arms are going to be long by our sides with our elbows slightly bent. And we're going to breathe just nice deep fluid breaths. As we move into our Qigong breathing, if possible, try and remember to bring your tongue to just behind the teeth, just above them on the roof, just above the teeth, so that we create sort of a circuit of energy. We'll inhale through the nose and we'll exhale through the mouth. And so it might make sort of like a whooshing sound, if you will. Also remember the pauses between your breaths. So you're not working the breath, just kind of hang out after the inhale for almost as long as it took to inhale, and then the exhale can be lengthened so it becomes a little more relaxing. So we're going to come into our Qigong stance and just take a few Qigong breaths, so placing that tongue, and you can always close your eyes as well, because sometimes that makes us focus in on what's happening internally as opposed to sort of gathering information from around us. So feel free to close your eyes, and I'm going to do that as well periodically through the practice. So just taking a few Qigong breaths, breathing deep into the belly, inhaling through the nose, holding, pausing, and then exhaling. Good, keep going with that breath. Inhale nose, exhale through the mouth. Good, and as you're breathing, the feet are grounded, the knees are soft. And we have a little space between our arms and our side body. We don't feel like we're kind of congesting anything in that region. Our head and neck are stacked right on top of our spine. One more breath. Good, so feeling nice and centered here. So we're going to begin with our warm-ups now, and we're going to start just by bouncing. We always start by bouncing, which is actually kind of fun. It always makes me smile when we do this. And we're just going to feel like sort of almost like a rag doll. Your feet stay flat on the floor, your knees are going to sort of pump up and down, arms are going to be loose and shaky, and you're going to relax your head and neck. And this is a great way to kind of free up any stuck energy. I just love doing this, even if you just did it in the morning when you wake up. It sort of loosens everything up, and that fascia and connective tissue that sort of holds us together and separates all our parts. This sort of allows it to get hydrated as the tissues kind of slide over each other, and really it gives us a bit more ability to move and feel like we're moving freely. So keep going with your Qigong breath here as well, inhaling through the nose, exhaling through the mouth. And then we're going to just raise the energy here a little bit, raising the arms just where it's comfy, so it might just be shoulder height or even lower. But see if you can raise them up to wherever it feels available to you. So do a couple more of those breaths. One more time. All right. Now just take a moment to stand. You can keep your eyes open or you can close them if you like. And just tune into that sense of energy and circulation that you feel just from bouncing. So what we're trying to do here in Qigong and in all Chinese medicine is believe that energy travels through meridians, just much like blood travels through the blood vessels, or electricity travels through our nerve or conductive system. So we want to envision meridians in the same sort of way. And what we're trying to do is sort of free any blockages to that energy. So where there's blockages, usually manifests in maybe some type of discomfort or ailment. So we're trying to just get our bodies and our energies moving more free flowing with the practice of Qigong. Okay, so the next thing we're going to do is we're going to swing our arms a little bit. So I like to have my feet a bit wider for this. And we're just going to kind of warm up our spine here with some gentle twists. And just go in a comfortable range of motion, not too much momentum. You can time your Qigong breath if you like with this. I'd also like to mention that if you want to do anything seated, if you're, get tired of standing on your feet for this long, all of this can be done seated. So feel free to stand up and be seated alternately. Most of this is done with the arms, and so you just be seated instead of standing. So we're just trying to tap sort of right to center of the navel and right in the center of the back, the Ming Meng, which is sort of our center for heat regulation. Okay, so we're just trying to sort of stimulate that area. You move side to side if you want, or just stay steady, whatever you like. All right, so we're going to just release that. And we're going to take those arms, we're going to bring them up just to about shoulder height. And then we're going to just start by drawing the elbows in and then pushing the arms out. Okay, so we inhale, we can sink down a little here if you like, and then exhale, pushing out, straightening your legs a bit. I want you to imagine that you're breathing in fresh qi, fresh energy, fresh air, however you want to envision it, bright light. And as you exhale, you're going to exhale cloudy gray energy, any stale energy, anything that no longer serves you, you're just going to push that out. Let's do this to the side. And it's really nice to sort of warm up the shoulder joints, the elbow joints, the wrist joints. Good, couple more. Nice. So we're going to do some other energy work here, which is great for warm-up. So we're just going to make gentle fists. We're going to do some thumping, or sometimes this will be called tapping. And we're going to just do a little right sort of underneath the collarbone. And you can, if you want, you can sway side to side. So what we're stimulating here, or tapping, is called K27. That's the end of the kidney meridian. Kidney starts at the sole of the foot and goes all the way up to this point here. And it helps to draw energy up the body, energy for the head, eyes. All right, the next place we're going to tap is just on the sternum. Just above the thymus gland, stimulating that thymus gland. Same breathing, and you can just do regular breathing too if you start to feel it's awkward, or if you get any lightheadedness, please just do regular breathing. And this one is really good to stimulate our immune system. Going to tap a couple other points here, just sort of in line with the broad line. You can do like 3 fingers together if you like, and just kind of tapping in that area. This is our spleen lymphatic reflex point. This helps aid us in digestion, digestion of our food or water or fluids, I should say, our thoughts. So digesting both physically and emotionally. And then we're going to go onto the side, just sort of in the same line, onto the side tapping. And this is for, this is spleen 21. And this is sort of the gateway to the lymphatic system. It's the end of the spleen meridian. And so good again for stimulating the lymph and our immunity. All right, let's release that. Good job. So we're going to just charge up our hands here a little, just warm them up, get the energy flowing in the center of those palms. You want to imagine maybe holding balls of light or energy. And we'll just do a few more of our warm-ups. This one we're going to come back to throughout the practice. And if you were only to do one practice, it would be syncing the chi. So we're just going to draw our hands in front of our lower belly. This is called the lower dantian. And chi is basically our life force, our energy. Sometimes it's referred to as the breath. And we get chi from our food, our water, from being in nature. We get chi from the environment, those things that are around us. And some of it's inherited as well. So what we want to do is build our chi, our reservoir of energy reserves through this practice. And in our lower dantian, there's 3 dantian, but we'll focus mostly on the lower today. We're going to try and draw that energy in, building our life force, building our reserves, building our energy in that lower abdomen. So just see if you can sense a bit of a connection between the palms and the belly. You're not touching, but you may feel a sense of again, energy or magnetism. Maybe some people feel like it's almost like repelling, like with magnets. Okay, and then we're just going to take those hands out to the side. I want you to imagine the palms drawing up energy from the earth and then flipping the palms at about shoulder height or wherever it feels comfortable for you, scooping up the heaven energy, and then just imagine as you draw it down that center in front of the spinal column, it's like crystal rain washing down from the center of, or the top of the head, the crown of the head, down the spinal column, washing through the heart, and then just pooling at the lower dantian. Let's do that one more time. Inhale as you draw that up. We're going to come back to this lots through the practice. And then exhale as we bring it right back down to that lower dantian. Okay, we're going to take those arms up. Let's do a couple more warm-ups here if this is available to you. Link your fingers. Keep the knees soft. And we're just going to do some circles here with the shoulders. You can inhale 1/2 and then exhale the second half. Okay, and we're going to reverse that. One more time. Okay, we're going to release those arms down. So I'm going to have you step to your right, stepping wide. We're going to take that right hand and you can look at it. The other hand is going to go just by the hip, facing down. We're just going to take a couple Qigong breaths here. And let's step it back to the center. And we're going to step out with your left, same thing. And gazing towards the hand. Other palm faces the floor. And just taking a couple Qigong breaths. bring that back to the center. So we're going to just bring the hands in front of that lower dantian. We're going to take a few more breaths, and then we're going to begin the 8 silk brocade. You can imagine in the palms of your hands being that light energy, and then feel that energy connecting, reaching, and spreading to the lower dantian and the lower abdomen. Okay, so we're going to find our comfortable stance, hip width or slightly wider if you prefer. The first part of the 8 silk brocade is called holding up the heavens. So we're going to inhale as we draw that energy up, and then about to the heart, we'll flip the palms, look up toward the ceiling like you're looking through the triangle, and then just let the hands on the exhale float back down. You might feel that you go down a little bit with the knees. So inhale, drawing up, flipping the hands, pausing, exhale, floating them down. Good, and then just make sure that you're just going at your breath's pace. We inhale, float up. There's probably a pause after that inhalation. You can stay in that pause for as long as you like before a nice lengthy exhalation. One more time. Inhale, drawing up. Exhale, releasing down. Nice. Back to the lower dantian. Okay, we're going to step to your right and kind of turn the toes outward a bit. We're going to do something called drawing the bow. And just breathe naturally, but if you can, every time we go down with something, whether it's our arms or our legs bending, it'll exhale, and every time we go up with something, whether it's our body coming up, our arms coming up, that's when we'll inhale. So up is inhale, down is exhale. So I'll just go through this quite slowly to you, and then we'll try and get into the rhythm. So we're going to take the hands, and we're going to sweep them up to the right. Now, your right hand is going to be sort of in an L shape like this, so you're going to kind of make a letter L. And then the other hand, your left hand, as you come down, you're going to pull the bow and arrow and come into a little bit of a squat. It doesn't have to be that deep. Then we're going to bring it back up, let the arms float down and up to the other side. So yeah, you're good to have the toes sort of both pointing out. Okay, and then make your letter L. You're going to pull the bow, sink down, and we come up, and then let the hands float back down. Okay, so that one might take a little practice, but just come with me. Inhale, arms sweep up. Make letter L. Exhale, pull the bow as you sink down. You're looking off into the distance. Inhale, our bodies come up. Exhale, our arms float down to the center. Inhale, arms float up other side. Make letter L. Exhale, pull your bow, sink. Inhale, come up with the body. Exhale, arms float to the center. Inhale, arms up, letter L. Exhale, squat, pull bow, looking off in the distance. Inhale, our bodies come up. Exhale, the arms float back down to the center. Inhale, arms float up, letter L. Exhale, pull the bow, squat. Inhale, body comes up. Exhale, arms come back down to the center. Inhale up. Exhale. Inhale, stand. Exhale, arms float back down. Good. Inhale up. Exhale, pull bow. Look off into the distance. Inhale, come up. Exhale, floating down. Inhale up. Exhale, pull. Inhale up. Exhale, floating down. Good. One more on this side. Coming back to the center of our mats. So we'll start with those hands again at the lower dantian, and as we inhale, we're going to draw those arms up, earth energy, then scooping up some heaven energy and just drawing it down like crystal rain to the center of our spinal column through the heart, and gathering at the lower dantian, inhaling up and exhaling down. Again. Building our reservoir of chi, our energy, our life force. So our next one is going to be separating heaven and earth. So as we inhale, we'll draw the hands up to about the heart center. And then as we exhale, one hand's going to press up, the other hand's going to press down by the hip. Inhale, center. Exhale and press. Two more. We're going to bring that back to center. And we're going to take those arms and just bring them forward. Let's just take your right hand first, and then your left hand around to the outside. So it's like you're holding a big ball. And what we're going to do here is we're going to inhale, open up that right arm, looking behind you. And then as you come back, you're going to bring it to the outside. So now your left hand is in front. Inhale, we open. And then exhale, that hand is going to come back around to the outside. Inhale, we bring the arms wide. And then exhale, we bring it back to the outside. Okay, so we're going to keep going with this one. This one's called the dragon. It's a nice one for limbering up the spine. A couple more times. Let's bring those hands down. We're going to take our feet back into horse riding stance. We're going to make sort of a open hand here between the thumb and the index, and then just plant that U shape on your thighs just above your knees. So this one's called Wag the Dog. And as we move to the side and we kind of lift up like we're peeking over a fence, that's our inhale. As we exhale, we come back down, sort of a squat position, shifting our weight to the other side, and then coming up to look. And exhale, center. Doing our Qigong breath, tongue is on the roof of the mouth or just above the teeth. And always moving in a comfortable, easy range of motion. Envisioning that breath as light and as energy. that back to center, step those feet in, and we'll do a few sinking of the G's. Inhale, drawing up that earth energy, scooping it up, and then just allowing it to fall down through that spinal column, creating that reservoir of energy, of light, vitality. Trying to move our energy freely through the body, help build our health and well-being. One more time. Okay, we're going to punch with intense eyes. So we're going to kind of soften our knees here. We're going to bend them a bit like our horse riding stance, and we're going to have our fists already made, elbows bent by our sides. As we exhale, we're going to raise the fist, nice tight fist, and then bring it back on the inhale. And we want to look with intense eyes, so we're really sending chi or energy out through the eyes. Get rid of some angst. Good, so keep going with that. So Qigong has 4 elements: meditation, breathing, gentle movements, and sound is also one of the elements to Qigong. Comes with the breath. Last one. Okay, we're going to bring that back to center, and we're going to do bend forward and bend backward. Bend backward, bend forward. So hands are in hips. We're going to extend our spine and then flex forward at the hips, keeping our knees soft. Once we feel that pull in the hamstrings, you're going to want to take those arms and just sort of fold at the elbows. Let your head weight release, your arms release, and then let your hands just sort of run up the tops of the feet and the thighs back to the hips. So breathe however you want for this. I might coach some breathing, but if you feel a different pattern feels better for you, please do that. Inhale, we extend the spine. Exhale to that halfway lift position where we bring the arms into a linked position, and then bring your body down. Release the arms and sweep up the feet and the thighs to the hips. Inhale. Exhale, hinge forward at the hips. Inhale, bringing those arms and releasing down. Or inhale all the way, exhale all the way up. So keep going with that. Remember, you can do everything seated in a chair too. So if you start to feel your feet getting tired, you're always welcome to do all of this from a seated position. And remembering to always stay in a comfortable range of motion. So you don't have to have a huge back bend here or a huge forward bend. Just do everything in your comfortable range. Okay, we'll do that one more time. Okay, we're just going to raise the heels now. It's a good way to ground our energy. Inhale up, exhale down. One more time. Nice. Okay, so going to balance the heart now. So feet hip width, and this is going to look a lot like sinking the chi. We're going to have a little added element. So as we inhale, the arms draw up. Exhale, drawing it down in front of the spinal column to the lower dantian. And then we're going to inhale, bring it back up to the heart. Exhale, pushing it out and around, and then inhale up. Exhale. Inhale up. And exhale down. And just resting those hands in front of the lower dantian. We'll take a few more breaths, just feeling and observing. Okay, let's release those hands. We're going to rub them together, and we're going to get ready for our closing now. Charging up those chakras in the center of our palms. Okay, and now we're going to begin by just sort of smoothing the face, almost like you're petting the face. You're going to go up the center and then down the sides. And we'll do that like 8 times, just a gentle kind of petting feeling. All right, and then we're going to be like you're sort of like combing your hair. You're just sort of smoothing over the skull. Down the back of the neck. And we're going to pat the head. And we're going to do the earlobes. So you're going to just kind of squeeze them from the top down to the lobes. Lots of acupressure points there. It's going to actually be quite relaxing. Okay, and then we're going to start with the arms now. So you're going to take your right arm out. Left arm is going to pat from shoulder down to the fingers. Flip the palm up. And we'll do that 3 times. Same thing on this side. And then we're going to pat the sides of the body. We're going to pat down the front of the body. And then we're going to link the fingers, draw some circles. We're going to go 8 in one direction, 8 in the other. Let's reverse. gonna lean forward, and we're gonna take the hands and just make light fists here, and you're going to kind of work over the kidney area a bit, just lightly kind of tapping. And if you can, with the backs of the fists, you're gonna rub that kidney area. And then with the palms of the hands, giving it a little bit of a rub. Okay, then we're going to make a loose fist, and we're just going to tap the tailbone. And then we're going to tap the hips here a bit, or the buttocks. And then we're going to tap down the legs. We're going to kind of cup almost. And then up the inside of the legs. Awesome. And we're going to take these hands, fingers touching, and we're just going to do a little side-to-side motion. Look straight ahead and just let the elbows sort of go side to side. Feet stay planted. And let's take it down to your belly height. Good, we're going to release that down. And we're going to do some chin circles, which sort of looks a little interesting. But we're going to imagine drawing vertical chin circles. So we're going to draw the chin in like you're giving a double chin. Draw the chin up, out, down, around, like you're drawing a circle with the chin. This is called vertical chin circles. And now we'll try some horizontal. So again, imagine you have a pen on your chin, and you're drawing your circle out, in and around. Okay, let's go the other direction. It's like you're drawing it on the horizon line. One more. Good, nice. Okay, we're just going to do one more closing, which this time we're going to incorporate our arms. So we're going to take the arms, sort of sweep them out to the side, come into a calf raise, and then sort of flump down. Okay, so again. One more. And then we're just going to take our hands into Namaste, our prayer position. And I want you to just take a few breaths, just to observe how you're feeling after your practice of Qigong, the 8 silk brocade, and just kind of observe now how you're feeling, but also throughout the day. With consistent practice, we can really build our reservoir of energy and strength and get our energy free flowing throughout the body, bringing this sense of health and well-being. When you're ready, let those eyes open, and we'll close with a greeting called Namaste, which means the light in me sees the light in you. So Namaste to you. Have a wonderful day, and thank you for participating.